Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rakadash, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rakadash, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rakadash. Bible!
Honors to the elders. Shalom.
Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakal Kadash, giving double honors to the apostle others, great millstone, peace and blessed special pushing the truth and sincerity and abide above. All right, the brother in the Pash Kadash coming at you again with another lesson. All right. This time I'm gonna read a whole chapter and break it down, right? Because usually, I'll take a couple verses on a topic and break it down that way. But I'm gonna go over an actual story in the Bible, right? An actual something that really happened, right? And that has a valuable lesson behind it. Plenty of valuable lessons, really, depending on which one you get out of it. All right, but it starts off with. I just give you some context clues in the background. All right, you got Jacob, who is the patriarch of the nation of Israel. All right, you got Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But in this story, it's leaning on Jacob, his daughter Dinah, right, and her two brothers. And it's gonna give you the name of those brothers in a second. And it also, since we got that, you got the I guess you could call them the bad guy of the story. The Hamites, all right, and you have in this time period you got a king of Ham, and you got a prince, all right, of the land that they in. Us being not so much of a big nation at the time, we kind of just, we kind of in their land, but we have our own little section, put it like that. But with that, we're gonna get right into it. It say, and Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob. All right, so Leah is the mother of Dinah, went out to see the daughters of the land. It say verse 2. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her. All right, so here we got Shechem. All right, Shechem is the son, and Hamor is the father. He the king, the Hivite, right? Prince of the country. They're Hamites, right? Because you have four different types of Hamites. You got the Cushites, the Hivites. I forgot the other two. Okay, but you could go look it up. All right, I believe it's the four sons of Ham, or you just have to look it up. I'm gonna do a video on that next, actually. But all right, it says so. Mind you, this is Shechem. He sees the daughter of Jacob, and he says, and he took her and lay with her and defiled her. All right, so basically he slept with her, right? But what's going off about that is Hebrew women not supposed to sleep with nothing but Hebrew men, right? Hebrew Israelites, all right? The lineage of Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native and Seminole Indian men, right? They're not supposed to be sleeping with Edomites and Hamites and Ammonites, all of them. They're not supposed to be doing that. Mind you, she didn't agreeingly do this, though, right? He took her. He raped her, all right? That's what it is, straightforward. He did that. He took her. That's what it. When you take something, you take it by force, right? So that's what went down. It say, and his soul clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel, and spake kindly unto the damsel. All right. So he really wanted her to be his wife. Verse 4. And Shechem spake unto his father Hamor, saying, get me this damsel to wife. And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah his daughter. Now his sons were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob held this peace until they were come. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out unto Jacob to commune with him. All right, so, you got Shechem telling his dad, like, hey, I want her to be my wife. And basically, because the father was going to speak to the other father, Hamor was going to speak to Jacob about it. All right, but mind you, to our customs at the time, because the law wasn't given till Moses. This happened before Moses was born, right? the law wasn't exactly made, but our customs have always been the law, if you get what I'm saying. We had customs, and our custom was not to let our women date men of other nations. That's what they mean by defile. He basically made her disgusting, put it like that. You know, because why? Because the sons that would be born would be Hamites. They would no longer be a part of our lineage, right? She would have made heathens, put it like that. You know, it's just the Lord just doesn't want that to happen. It says, and the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard. Oh wait, it's like it say, okay, yeah. The father came to speak to the father. Then verse 7 say, and the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard it, and the men were grieved, and they were very wroth, because he had wrought folly in Israel, in line with Jacob's daughter, which they ought not to be done. So this should have, this is not gonna happen in the kingdom of heaven. Put it like that. And on top of that, you know, that's their sister. You know how Jake be about their women. You know, Jake don't play about their mom, their sister, and their wife. You know, Jake men, they get real protective. That's what we are. We're protectors. You know, we're providers. So if somebody came and raped your sister, you know, you'd be heated about that. Now put yourself in their shoes where you still got to follow the law. You know, you got your father speaking with them. You know, you're not just going to run out there with your sword and just slice them up. Because, you know, in today's time, somebody there just go grab their gun and just, hey, we gonna do this, we gonna do that. Guess what? It's a, you know, it's rules to these things, you know. All right. That's why they say, you know, I'm keep going. It's verse 8. And Hamor communed with them, saying, the soul of my son Shechem longeth for your daughter. I pray you give her to him to wife. And make ye marriages with us, and give us your daughters unto us, and take our daughters unto you. And ye shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you. Dwell and trade ye therein, and get you possessions therein. See, now this is where he trying to entice Jacob. He's saying, hey, you know, you give us that daughter, we're gonna give you our daughters, and you back, and we gonna be at peace. Is what he trying to portray, right? But the Lord we not supposed to be. Now mind you, if that happens, we're gonna be living amongst the heathen, then they customs and our customs. You know, you see how one thing leads to another. Scripture say don't follow the ways of the heathen. You know, we living around them. You know, they customs and stuff gonna rub off on us. Look at America, right? These wasn't our customs, but we grew up around them. You know, Christmas and all. You know, just one thing leads to another, bro. Then on top of that, they not supposed to be sleeping with our women. Okay, this is verse 11. And Shechem said unto her, which is the son, don't forget that's the son of the king of Ham, basically, of the Hivites, I'll say that, of Shechem, and said unto her father and unto her brethren, let me find grace in your eyes, and what ye shall say unto me, I will give. Mind you, you know, women back then, they you know, I'm gonna keep going. It say, you know, he basically was trying to like smooth things, make things go more smooth. Like, hey, I actually want to be your sister's husband. You know, I'm not, you know. That's basically what he was trying to get at. Verse 12, ask me never so much dowry and gift, and I will give according as ye shall say unto me, but give me the damsel to wife. All right, you know, he's a prince. He got things. He got money. You know, he rich. So he said, hey, I could, you know, bless your family, you know. All I want is your sister. Verse 13. And the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor his father deceitfully, and said, because he had defiled Dinah, their sister, and they said unto them, we cannot do this thing to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised, for that were a reproach unto us. And they saying, basically what they're saying is, you could give us the world. We're not giving you our sister. All right, we're not allowing that. It's something as simple as that. See, people they overlook that part. All right, but he could have gave them anything that they wanted. Mind you, we wasn't living in palaces at this time. They work in the field right now. Living in tents, maybe shack-like things, And here it is, somebody who probably owned a whole town. Hey, bro, you can have whatever you want. They wasn't selling out, right? They wasn't going that. The law or the custom at the time was they can't be with our women. It's always been like that. Because it's defiled, it's wickedness, right? Verse 16. Then will we give our daughters... Oh, wait. Verse 15, it say, but in this will we consent unto you, if ye will be as we be, that every male of you be circumcised, then will we give our daughters unto you, and we take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people. All right, so they was basically saying, you got to follow our customs. Y'all got to be under our customs. Y'all got to be like us. We not going to be like y'all. That is one thing, because you got to mind yourself, back in that time, women wasn't just, sleeping all about. They wasn't just being with any man. So they kind of was like, all right, he already done, sex is marriage. So to a certain degree, they kind of was already as one, But as you get into it, you kind of learn, like, that wasn't supposed to happen. But now that it happened, it's like, now if she go sleep with another man, now she just became a harlot. You understand? So, in this situation, they trying to see, it's something this is why things like this not supposed to happen, because now you got this law and you got that law, and it's like, had we just kept it, we wouldn't have to, do, all right, well, let's try not to break this one and this one, since this one, it's just best to keep them. You feel me? It's just best to keep them. Verse 17, but if you will not hearken unto us to be circumcised, then will we take our daughter and we will be gone. They're trying to make the best out of the situation. Put it like that. They're trying to, nobody wants their sister to be a harlot, but nobody wants their sister to be with a Hamite at the same time. All right. Verse 19, and the young man deferred not to do the thing because he had delight in Jacob's daughter, and he was more honorable than all the house of his father. So he was willing to follow our customs. It say, and Hamor and Shechem, his son, came unto the gate of their city, and communed with the men of their city, saying, these men are peaceable with us. Therefore let them dwell in the land, trade therein, for the land, behold, it is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters to us for wives, and let us give them our daughters. All right, so they hear that the peace was made, like, all right, we handled the situation. But you got to remember, the Lord is the ultimate, right? So these men can say that, we can say this, but at the end of the day, it's what the Lord wants to happen. All right, because mind you, like I said, there's no law yet. There's custom. The law doesn't come into play until Moses is born, but there's custom. You got to remember that. All right, so in this situation, they like I said, they were trying to make the best out of it, but you got to remember, it's up to the Lord. I don't care if we make an agreement and I say yes and you say yes. If the Lord say no, that agreement's not going to work out. All right, keep that in mind. Verse 22, only herein will the men consent unto us to dwell with us, to be one people, if every male among us be circumcised, as they are circumcised. Shall not their cattle and their substance and every beast of theirs be ours? And let us consent unto them, and they will dwell with us. So he persuaded his people. Hamor, I believe, he persuaded his people. And unto Hamor and unto Shemik, his son, hearkened all that went out of the gate of his city. And every male was circumcised, all that went out of the gate of his city. And it came to pass on the third day, when they were sore, and two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi. All right, keep this in mind. I told you about them two brothers earlier, right? Like I said, you can have that agreement, but if the Lord don't want it, Denai's brethren took each man his sword, came upon the city boldly, and slew all the males. All right, so you got to understand that Denai's two brothers, Simeon and Levi, right? They grabbed their swords, came in on a whole city of men, right, and slayed them all. All right, now keep in mind, cities wasn't, 30,000. It wasn't a 30,000, 100,000 people in that city. It was nothing that giant. Not that not to my understanding, right? Because I didn't did some research on this. I really doubt it might have been, but come on, if we just, I doubt it was 100,000 men there, right? But hey, that's not to knock them two, because 2 men came in and slayed the whole city, right? But we're gonna keep going. A whole city of males. Well, all the males in the city. So like it say verse 26. And they slew Hammer and Shemik his son with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house and went out. All right, now who put that spirit on them two to do that? The Lord. Right? Because they had an agreement. Verse 27. And the sons of Jacob came upon the slain and spoiled the city, because they had defiled their sister. So they took everything that belonged to them. The Lord, they say the Lord worked in mysterious ways. Guess what? That's true. You would have never guessed that this story would just hit a right turn like that. Like, you thought they was going to live off happily ever after, all the Hivites and the future Hebrew Israelites, we was going to just be one big happy nation. No. The Lord don't love them. Verse 27. And the sons of Jacob came upon the slain and spoiled the city, because they had defiled their sister. They took their sheep and their oxen, their asses, and that which was in the city, and that which was in the field, and all their wealth, and all the little ones and their wives took they captive, and spoiled even all that was in the house. And Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, Ye have troubled me to make me to stink among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites, and I being few in number, they shall gather themselves together against me and slay me, and I shall be destroyed, and I and my house. All right, so mind you, after they slayed this town, right? The Simeon and Levi, they killed everyone in all the men, all right, all the men. But the little ones and they women, they wife, they make they wives their wives, because they became widows, which is righteous, all right? And they little ones, they took them, they would grow up to be servants, stuff like that. And modern day slaves, put it like that. But he wasn't just beating their ass the way Esau was doing it. But like I said, that's righteous. That's called spoils of war. Everything that happened right there was righteous, right? But Jacob's saying, look what you just did, right? You think that was the only city them Hamites was? It's only so many of us, and them Hamites, they've been populating, bro. They got a city there, city there. If they hear about what happened here, they're gonna come together and wipe us out. That's what Jacob was saying, right? Verse 31. And they said, Simeon and Levi, this is what they saying, should he deal with our sister as with a harlot? And that's the end of the chapter, because what they were saying was, hey, according to our customs, he can't be with her. He can't be with our sister. I hope you learn some things from this story, bro, because you see a lot of Edomite men with Israelite women, Asian, all type of stuff. But hey, remember what our forefathers had to go through for things like this. They slayed a whole town of men. Their sister, she wasn't willingly going with that man. Although you gotta get deep into the law with that rape doctrine, and she was taken. They was enticed with riches. But the custom, bro, it was all about the custom. It's all about the Lord at the end of the day. The Lord is not going to let certain things fly. That's also another thing. That's called divine intervention. The Lord, he intervened on that situation like, nah, I don't want y'all dealing with them Hamites. Right? And just for a quick briefing, when you go to Slovakia, I ain't gonna do all this. You go to Genesis. How the fuck that keep happening? Oh, I'm pressing that's in the middle part. When you go to Genesis 49, right? Yep, here you go. Here you go. This is Genesis 49:5. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. O my soul, come not thou into thy secret, until their assembly. Mine honor be not with thou united. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. All right, that's just to show you, like, the scriptures they round about, they circulate. And this one is really talking about where the Israelites would be in the last days, right? Where they would be. But that was just showing you that fierce anger that they had. You know, the Lord, nothing goes unpunished, but everything happens for a reason. You know, I was just throwing that out there to show you that even though what they did, you know, it's just, you gotta read in between the lines, bro. You know, what they did had to be done, but how they went about it, you know, everything got a price, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. Everything got a price. But hey, in that lesson, I'm telling y'all gotta get something out of that. You, our women, can't be with these heathen men, bro. All right, that was just a quick story. I'm gonna probably do a couple more. I'm gonna start a whole series breaking down these stories. All right, well, these really lessons. They not stories, because, you know, stories could be fictional. These lessons, put it like that. All right, these valuable the word, bro. I'm gonna break down these chapters and things like that. All right, but with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakadash. Give it double honor to the apostle, elders, great millstone. Peace and blessed, pushing truth and sincerity, and abide with all.